Hello, Nigel here with you again, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and I'm here with yet another kit review for you. If you're one of those people that doesn't like reviews, then you're not going to be very happy with my channel in the next few days, because I've got a lot of stuff to review. I've got a book, I've got an aftermarket set, some other bits and pieces to go. So unfortunately I'll be getting that done. I've also got some building work going on, model building work, not house building work, but I'm not putting the videos out yet, so you'll see those real soon. So here we have, this has come to me from Jadlam. They kindly sent me this over. I wasn't expecting it this early. It's on their site as a pre-order, so they've obviously had some in, or at least one in, and sent me it. So thank you very much to Matt for that. So this is the brand new Trumpeter 1/700 scale Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier. Now I'm hoping they're going to do this in 3/50th, because I know there'll be a lot of people very, very happy about it. I'm not sure about the differences on this one and her sister, Prince of Wales, but I think Prince of Wales now carries 24 F-35s, doesn't it? So I'm assuming the other 16 are on here. So the UK currently have 40 F-35Bs apparently, and we're buying F-35As as well, so that's cool. So yeah, very, very glossy box, so I can't actually see the image because the light's reflecting into my eyes. I can't see it. If I put the overhead light on so that I can see it, you can't. So there we go. But it's a beautiful artwork. There's a ship in the background there. I'm not sure what's that type, 42 or whatever, I don't know. Here you can see it's in 700 scale, so it's 400mm long, so it's about as long as the box. It's got a beam of 105mm, so that's quite wide for a 700 scale, and it's got 380 plus parts. And it's lovely. Please keep this packaging since it contains important information. Okay, so as usual, we'll have a look around the box. So you can see on the side here, this is the side-on view, and you can see we've got F-35Bs and EH-101 helicopters. We've got a nice little deco sheet there, and we've got two sheets of photo etch. So they're probably very small, but we shall see. We've got some words about the ship herself there. 65,000 tons, powered by 2 MT-30 gas turbines and 4 diesel generators. She has a range of 10,000 nautical miles, about 11,500 miles, or 18,520 kilometers without refueling. And she will carry up to 1,600 personnel on full deployment. End of the box is just the usual sort of the same artwork as the front. Kit number is 06751, and as I say, it's available now to pre-order on Jadlam, and it's $69.95. So you can see here we've got the lovely phalanx there. And we've got the twin island system. The forward island is basically like the ship's bridge, and the second island is flight control. So you can see you've got those there with some photo etch on them. We've got some deck equipment there, and we've got forklift there with some photo etch parts and everything. So that's very nice. And I'm not quite sure what that there is showing us. Is that showing us it's got hangar detail? I can't picture that out. I can't picture what this is trying to show us. I think this is showing the underside, isn't it? I can't work out the angle we're looking at. Very strange. Have a good look at that picture, see if you can work it out. Very, very strange. Yeah. I think it's looking up underneath, so you can see the detail around the sides here. You've got the detail up under here. So I think that's what they're showing us there. I think it's got hangar detail as well, and it's also got a little surprise up its sleeve, this kit. So there we are. So you can see here Queen Elizabeth. So you can see we've got detailed forward island, detailed aft island, detailed flight deck with ski jump. We've got the F-35Bs. Yeah, underside details faithfully reproduced. That's what that image was showing us. Separately moulded lifeboat capsules. And then we've got 20mm close-in weapon support sponson, so that's your little phalanx there. I think it's a phalanx anyway. And then we've got various deck vehicles are separately moulded. And on the back here we've got a Chinese Z-10G attack helicopter. It's just like an Apache. And then we've got a Chinese J-20S Mighty Dragon. So that's in 48 scale, and that's in 48 scale. And then down here in 72nd scale, we've got an M1132 Striker, which I've just built the Riffield Model 35th one. What a gorgeous kit that was. So there we are. So it's the engineer squad vehicle with the blade on the front. There we go. So we've got in here, we've got a nice card here from Jadlam, and you can click on there for their new website if you want to go and have a look on there. You can. So we'll put that over there so you can see that this is from Jadlam through the video, because they've kindly supplied it. So we've got instructions here and colour call out. So what we'll do, we'll put the box to one side. I think it did say on here 357 parts on 24 sprues and 33 parts of photo etch. So there you go, lots of sprues. So we've got our colour call out here. Again, this is glossy, so I'll do this before we put the light on. So you can see there we've got the very large deck, which is very nice indeed. We've got our deck equipment here, and then we've got 6 of the EH101s, and we've got 6 of the F35Bs. No doubt you'll be able to buy these separately as well from Trumpeter, should you wish. But yeah, very, very nice indeed. Very interesting looking ship, isn't it? Very strange with the 2 islands there. Okay, so let's have a look at the instructions. Get the overhead light on, make things a bit brighter for you. So you can see we've got here the read before assembly, and then there's our legend there. Drill, add weight, no cement, that sort of stuff. That's a new one, I haven't seen that before. Install it first. So, typical Trumpeter. This is a different kind of book really. Normally the Trumpeter books are sort of that way, aren't they? And they open that way. So here we have obviously our sprue call out. So we've got lots and lots of sprues, but obviously, I mean, you've got 12 sprues for the aircraft. So, you know, we've got 2 there with the ramps on the lifts. It looks like we do have a hangar deck. It looks like we have hangar deck walls as well. They didn't even give us that in the 350th JR Ford, and they've given us it in here. That's incredible. Wow. Okay. So we've got all these sponsors going on the sides of the hull, so they're going to stick out a mile. Got P to go on there as well. You've got to keep your wits about you with these instructions, because there's no, you know, like you'll see with the Ryfield model or other companies, you'll see coloured bits and pieces to show different stuff, especially Verifier. This is all just black and white, so you've got to be, you know, have your mind about you. And if I was you, I'd get yourself a pencil and cross stuff off as you take it off the sprue, and then put a cross on it as you stick it on. So we've got some little decks here going on, and the hangar deck going down inside. Waterline only this model, you have no full hull capability on here. Anchors going onto the bow, and then coming over here we're going to build up the hangar detail. So I'm not sure, we'll be interested to see if we've got any detail on these walls. So that's very interesting. I'm assuming the hangar on this ship is going to be all white with a grey floor, but I'm sure there's loads of images online. And then we've got the deck coming down on, and we've got the ski ramp going on the front and the lifts going in the sides. So that's all very nice. That's pretty much the ship built. We've got some catwalks going on, some walkways around the deck here. We've got a little island going onto the back there. That's probably the flight, the FSO it's called, isn't it? Flight Support Officer. Whatever, he's probably down in there controlling the bits and pieces. I know nothing about this ship. I know a little bit about aircraft carriers, but I know nothing about this particular ship. I'm mainly sort of into the American stuff. But there we go, more little catwalks going on, so they're going to be very nice. Hopefully they're not peppered in ejector pin marks. Knowing Trumpeter, they probably won't be. And then we've got our little phalanx here going on, close in weapon support system. So that's very nice. So it's going on to the base. I thought the British used a what nationality? I thought they used a different one. But hey ho, we shall have to see. I'm sure you guys will tell me. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there watching this who are absolutely, completely and utterly mad on this ship and know everything there is about it. So tell me when I go wrong, and tell me what bits I miss. So here we have the lifeboats going in, the lifeboat capsules, life raft capsules, whatever, and then lots of little bits and greeblies. There's a phalanx going on there, and then where's another one? There's another one going there. So that one's going on the bow, and that one's going on the stern. So we've got one on the port side on the stern, and one on the starboard side on the bow. Got some little walkways there in PE. They're going to be absolutely tiny, some tiny little doors. They've done that to stop them having to slide mould, and that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to start on the islands here. So we've got the, is this the flight one, or is this the ship one? This is the flight one. Okay, so this is the one nearest the stern. So lots of little greeblies and walkways and stuff going on, and then we've got bits and pieces of radar and antennas and systems and lots of little bits, lots of bits going on. They're all pretty much of a muchness, all these ships now, aren't they? They're all the bloody same. You couldn't tell if it was American or British or what it was. And then here we've got the final bits and pieces going on by the look of it. Oh no, this is actually starting on the bridge. Sorry, this is the ship control bridge. Not sure where the funnel is. Does it have a... No, it doesn't have a funnel, I guess, because it's got a gas turbine. I guess it comes out the back. I did see some bits and pieces going in the back, actually. Maybe, yeah. Never considered that. So there we go. And we have the finishing off of the actual flight control, the actual ship's control tower there. And then we've got the EH101s, and we've got the option of having folded or extended rotors. And then we're going to build up our deck vehicles here. So just going to take them off the sprue, they're done. We've got some forklift here, we've got 2 of those. So we're going to add the protective frame over the driver, and then we've got the lift and the forks going on there. So we've got 2 of those. And then we've got this here, deck vehicle. I'm not sure what this is. This is another sort of, this is a long forklift type thing. And then we've got the F-35s going together. You can see we've got our deck vehicles placed on the deck there, and we're going to glue down our bridges. That could be the funnel there, actually, coming out the back of the flight control. Anyway, so there we are. Very, very nice. Shame it's not 350th, but hey ho. No doubt they're going to do one. The beauty of it, this is, as I say, this is $69.95. If it was 350th, it would be $369.95. So we'll start off by looking at the actual hull itself. And as we can see here, it is waterline only. This bag is sealed, so I'm going to have to cut open the bags, unfortunately. So I'll be going off the side of the cam here because this is just paper base. Okay, so we have our hull here. Is it nice and flat? Yes, it is. It's lovely. Really, really nice. Very, very subtle detail on here. I'm not sure if this here is portholes or what it is. We've got a nasty mould seam here around the front, but it's, you know, when I say nasty, quick bit of sanding and it'll be gone. I think that's a mould seam. I don't think it's part of the design of the ship. I don't think it's supposed to be there. Let's have a quick look. Is it supposed to be there? No, I think not. So you can see we've got all the lovely detail on here as well. All raised. So yeah, just give it a little wash just to pick out the detail. We're not going to try and make it look weathered or anything, but just give it a little wash. And there you can see the access there for the aircraft hangar. And then we've got these big tabs in here where all the side structure is going to go on. And then we've got some lovely detail on the stern there, as you can see. Catch it in the light. I'm going to do my usual and bring the light sideways. Makes it easier to pick up on the detail. So yeah, very nice indeed. It all looks a very tiny touch soft, but I think that's probably more the colour of the plastic than anything. But yes, very nice. Very nice indeed. And then we've got, I think this is our, is that going to be our aircraft? Yeah, that's helicopters and little bits and pieces. And then here we have the hangar deck. So you can see there we've got all the tie downs. It looks soft, but it feels really crisp. I think, as I said, if you give it a coat of grey primer, Mr. Surface or something, it would really pop. You can see we've got all the tie down detail on there, and we are going to get hangar walls to go into there, so that's a real nice touch. And that is basically just going to sit in there. Like that when you get it the right way around. That's a lovely fit, that just drops in there. That's lovely, isn't it? Very nice indeed. And then you'll be able to look inside there and see your hangar, so you can have an F-35 with his nose sticking out or something. I didn't notice in the instructions, it looks like we don't have the option. I was just going to say to have folding wings, but of course the F-35B doesn't have folding wings, does it, you idiot? I was going to save this, but I'm going to show you it now. This is the deck. So we all know, like with the Magic Factory Gerald R. Ford, the 700th, you can pay extra and get a painted deck. With this one, for $69.95, you are getting the painted deck. And yes, it needs a coat of flat varnish because it's a bit glossy, but I'm going to turn the light off to show you this because it's reflective. But you can see on there, it's absolutely gorgeous. I wonder how they do that. You've got all the markings here, the numbers. You can see down that black line there. The white lines, everything is really crisp and sharp. I mean, how on earth would you recreate that? It is lovely. It's a little bit, the paint's a bit on the heavy side. I don't know if I can catch it in the light. But I mean, it's no worse than a decal or decal. Yeah, it's the grey plastic just painted, and it is really, really nice. That's going to really make your model pop. But as I said, it needs a coat of flat varnish. I'm just wondering how she's going to look with her deck fitted. That's going to fit inside there like that. Hanger deck's floating around inside now. But there you go. You can see you've got a very flush edge on the deck there. So there's one hand. It's a big old model for 700th. Very nice, parked up next to Gerald R. Ford, isn't it? We've got a decal sheet there. I'm going to put the light back on now. So we've got some sprues here. So let's have a look through these. Looks like this one's been rubbing itself away in the box. Came beautifully packaged by Jadlam in a cardboard box, all wrapped up in brown paper and everything. So we have deck parts here. So there's ejector pin marks, and they're all restricted to the back. We've got these catwalks and things here. The bits on the side, the sort of fences, they're obviously overscale in 700th, but they're very thin. Look at that, very, very nicely done indeed. As I say, coat of back grey paint and a wash. It's going to look beautiful. I think you could basically build this thing, paint it grey, and then stick the deck on. That's it, job done. Yeah, it's very nice indeed. You can see that's the radar, isn't it? That's like the English version of the Americans' radar, I think. There. Brilliant. We've got another sprue here, so we've got they've got a badge here for the stand. We don't have a stand. They've called it HMS Elizabeth. It's Queen Elizabeth. God rest her soul. So we have lots and lots of little pieces here. We've got the little capsules there for our life rafts. There's a hanger wall, so there's no detail on that hanger wall, but it's just a plain wall, but it doesn't have any ejector pin marks or anything on it. You can see here we've got some very, very fine moulded on detail on these parts of the islands. Very nice indeed. This is what I was hoping not to see. I'm hoping that goes the other way up, but if you've got these ejector pin marks in there, you may have to get rid of. Here we've got big ejector pin mark in there, two in there. That's obviously part of the mast. So yeah, and we've got ejector pin marks in here as well. Look, I'm not sure how much. I think they're going to go up underneath the deck though, so they'll be okay. But it's not until you come to build it that you'll see what needs to go and what can stay. At the end of the day, it's not too much work to fill them. It's just sanding them is the awkward bit when they're in awkward little places. So here is sprue E, which is looking very nice. So you've got more bits of the superstructure to go around the outside the hull. And there's a catwalk there. We have ejector pin marks on the underside. So that's not so bad, at least they're not on the inside. We've got some little slide moulded parts there. There's a little catwalk there going around the stern. I'm assuming somebody's going to come up with a photo etch set for this. But, does it need it? Who knows? And then here we have more hanger walls. As I said, there's no detail on them as such, but they are ejector pin mark free. I guess you could come along and just scribe some lines just to add some detail, perhaps a little bit of stretch sprue, just to add some sort of something to look at when you look inside. You know, certainly along the back walls here where you look in, although if you don't light it up you're not going to see much in there anyway, but it's nice that they've given it to us for those that do want to light it up. So there we are. I wish they'd done that in Jadlam 4. I could have saved $200 odd. Right, so here we have, well, this is nice, there's the lifts for the aircraft, and they are thoughtfully painted as well. This is how to package parts. If you're going to put 2 sprues in one bag, guys, you know who I'm talking to. What you do is you have them tightly wrapped in a bag like this, so even if you shake them, they don't do this against each other and start to break stuff off or damage stuff. Right, so there's our thoughtfully packaged as well, back to back, as you can see. So there's your lifts. They're going to sit in the deck like that. They're pre-coloured for you, so that's nice. So they're lovely. There's lovely, see? And then here we've got lots of little greeblies. So there's your phalanx. There's some more life rafts there. We've got some little greeblies and antenna and stuff. And we've got our deck vehicles there. You can see they're absolutely tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny little things. So there we are. They're sort of bright red and yellow, and some are probably white, I'm guessing. And then you've got an identical sprue here. That's sprue K. So that's very nice. It kind of makes the 350th scale stuff look chunky, doesn't it? It's absolutely tiny. And then we've got a little bag here. These are F-35s. We'll look at those after. One of these is helicopters. They're both helicopters. Right, we'll look at those after. So here I've got a bag which is stuffed full of slide moulded sprues. So this is Trumpeter's little favourite. They slide mould these pieces of structure in one piece beautifully. This looks a lot sharper. You can see on here we've got, this is one of the sponsons going underneath the deck. You can see on there lots of lovely recessed and raised detail for a wash to pick up on, really sharp corners. You can see this is really, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide molded 4 ways. You think of the money they invested doing this sort of stuff. Absolutely incredible. There goes the bloody fireworks again. Oh, night after night after night. There's our ski ramp. Again, it needs a flat coat. It's a bit glossy. But I'm hoping I'd give it a flat coat before you mask it. I'm hoping the paint is tough enough and stuck well enough to not be lifted by masking. It's got a tiny, tiny little scratch there. Is that a scratch or is that a hair? It's a little imperfection. I'm not sure if it's painted or if it's a decal. I think it's painted. But it's very nicely done. And that's just going to sit up on your bow there, as you can see. And then we've got this one here. It's another little sponson, and you can see we've got all the lovely detail in there. So that's very nice indeed. Then we've got another bag here. There's lots and lots going into this, even though it's a small model. Lots of interesting stuff going into it. So here we go. So there's part of our superstructure. You can see on there the moulding is exquisite. There's the windows for the bridge on the front. So you fill them up with a bit of gloss varnish or something, paint them dark blue or whatever you want to do. More, I think that's part of the bridge, isn't it? Or is it sponsored? And then here's part of the flight tower, I think it is. You can see there you've got those very positive locations where these are going to fit onto the deck. So clearly you can't put them in the wrong place. So that's going to fit in the deck like that. So now you can see how she's going to look. With your island on there, she's going to look beautiful. There we go, that's all those bits there. As I say folks, this is available to pre-order from Jadlam, $69.95. And then here I think this is the final sprue of parts for the ship itself. And then we'll move on to the aircraft. So we've got, that's the sort of extension for the flight control. You see it's got the big windows in it. That's where the guy will be there with his headphones on and talking to everybody. There's another lookout area there. It's not like CV6 this, is it? And there's more really fine detail on there you can see moulded on. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done. Is this more of that radar? That sort of rectangular cutouts. So luckily I've just given Dottie a new tube, so I think she's quite happy with the fireworks tonight. So let's have a look at these aircraft. So we have our F-35Bs. One. It said we get 6. Okay, that's the underside. No. Is that an F-35A? Well, that's the underside, idiot. I'm guessing that, no, that's the top. Is that the, I'm not sure what's going on here. No, there's the undersides. So it looks like we get, yeah, this one's got its ramp open. It's got the fan open, and this one's got the fan closed. So you've actually got, if you haven't got 6, you've got 12. I'm not sure if you can make 12. I think you can. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 2 nose wheels, 2 main legs, or 4 main legs. You've got 2 undersides, 2 upper sides. You've got 4 fins, so you can make 2 aircraft from each sprue. So you've actually got 12. But they're very nice. So whether I don't know why they say 6 when they've actually given you 12. But, that's nice to know, isn't it? It's not often you get surprises like that. This kit's full of them. I was really surprised to see that painted deck, because that is such a help in the build, isn't it? Especially if you're a novice. You know, if you're looking for somebody to buy for a Christmas present for someone who's crazy on Elizabeth, they shouldn't have any trouble building this, because all they've got to do is paint it grey, and the deck's already done for them. That's the only hard part. So we'll cut this sellotape here. Take this foam off. Trumpeter's renowned for their brilliant packaging. So here you can see we've got our little EH101s. They are lovely. They are. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look, detail on there. Really, really nice. And then you've got your extended rotors or your folded rotors. So we've got 3 in there. And then we've got another 3 in there. That's 3 identical sprues wrapped in the foam. So we've got 6 helicopters and 12 aircraft. So a complement of 18. So that's pretty cool. But they are, see, the rotor head is lovely. The detail on that fuselage on that helicopter is bloody gorgeous. The landing gear there. Really, really nice. Tell you what, £69.95 is worth every penny, isn't it? I mean, when you look at the competition with other aircraft carriers of this scale, I mean. So here we have our photo etch. So we'll have a good look at this. That's nice and easy. Why don't they all open that easily? So we've got a tiny little piece of photo etch. So I'm going to grab my piece of black card. Come here, a piece of black card. So there we go. And there's your tiny bits of PE. And they're all done to, you've got your forklift bits there. And these little bits of these doors and stuff, they're given to you to add on to panels because it prevented them having to do a slide mold for it, or it could be something they forgot to add, so it's easier to just do it in PE. That's why they do it. These are the cards that come with that Sven sends me with the masking sets. So there's that one, and then we've got a little one here with these bits on it. This looks like an afterthought, doesn't it? Not exactly sure what they are. I don't remember seeing those in the instructions, but there we go. So there we are. So that's our photo etch taken care of. So all we have left to look at now are the decals, whatever you want to call them. So let's have a look at them. So here we have a little decal sheet. Bloody fireworks, I hate the things, and poor little Dottie gets really nervous around them. So as soon as I finish this review, what I do is I put the loud music on, calming music. So we have some beautiful little decals here. There's some that we're not even going to be able to see. So we do have the displacements for the tug signs there. You can see on there. We've got some tiny little decals here. They're white. I can't even see what they are. They're clearly for the aircraft because there's a few of each. But they're little roundels. And then we've got Royal Navy. And then we've got 52, 62, 462. Lots of absolutely tiny, there's a WMs there. And then we got, I'm assuming these here are placards. Oh, they look like digital displays like you see in an airport. You can see those there. But beautifully done. Absolutely. I don't know how you're going to put those on. I suppose once the card gets wet, you'll see them. And then when you put them on the aircraft, obviously, because the F-35s are dark grey and the H101s are sort of a mid-grey. It's just grey on grey, this thing. It's just grey. So there we are. That's it. That's our box empty. What an impressive little model. I'm extremely impressed, I must be honest. 24, was that the roundel? No, 20 was the roundel. So do the F-35s, they're for the helicopters, the F-35s don't have a roundel on them by the look of it. They have 24, which is this one here. That's a little warning, I think. Interesting. Anyway, there she is. So go get yourself one. Get yourself one on pre-order. I'm not sure. They didn't mention to me about availability or anything, or when they would be in. I think they had a couple in, and they've sent me one. But it's lovely and well worth the money, in my opinion. I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. As I say, there's the deck again. You can see it's rather glossy. That's no problem. I can't work out if it's a decal or if it's paint. I've just noticed they've even got, if you look at this through a magnifier, there's no way you're going to be able to see it on here. But if you look at this through a magnifier, they've even got the crisscross grille on the, I think it's actually a decal. I think it's one big decal that's laid down. I'm not sure, but it's really difficult to tell. It's got a soft edge to it. But yeah, these These indentations in the floor, I wonder if the hanger deck's the same. No, they're just holes. But these have actually got the, instead of just having a circular hole, you've got like 4 little slices of a pie to make up. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I can't work out if this is just one big decal or if it's actually painted. It's very nicely done. Anyway, with the coat of matte varnish on there, you'll never know the difference. So there we are. Kit number, as I say, 6751. Go take a look on Jadlam. Get yourself one pre-ordered. I'm sure you'll be impressed. And if your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever is interested in HMS Queen Elizabeth, then get them one for their Christmas box. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.